Aviation of the Armed Forces of Ukraine inflicted 15 strikes on enemy positions. Over the past 24 hours, the aircraft of the Armed Forces of Ukraine worked out 15 strikes against the areas where enemy strongholds and forces and assets are located. This was reported by the Operational Command South, Ukrinform reports. The situation in the Yezhnobuzhsky operational area has not changed significantly. Stably controlled by the defense forces. The enemy takes up defensive positions and tries to hold the occupied lines. The shelling of our positions on the line of combat clashes continues with the use of aviation, MLRS, cannon artillery, mortars. In order to clarify the positions of Ukrainian troops and adjust artillery fire, the enemy is actively conducting aerial reconnaissance. The recently liberated settlements of Petropavlovka and Trifonovka in the Berislav district of the Kherson region were fired on twice from Grad and Uragan multiple launch rocket systems. Lossless. Enemy aircraft delivered 3 strikes in the Davidov-Brod area. Aviation of the Armed Forces of Ukraine delivered 15 strikes on areas of strongholds and places of concentration of enemy forces and assets. Enemy losses are 84 servicemen, 2 self-propelled large-caliber howitzers of the Akatsiya and Mstes types, a tank, 3 armored vehicles, 3 ammunition depots in the Berislav and Bashtan districts. In the Black Sea, the ship grouping of the enemy fleet consists of 9 units, of which 2 BDKs and 2 launchers with 16 caliber missiles are ready for active operations, Yug added. As reported, from February 24th to October 18th, the Armed Forces of Ukraine liquidated about 65,850 Russian invaders. In the south, units of the Ukrainian Defense Forces completed about 100 fire missions, destroyed 20 Russian invaders, a multiple launch rocket system and 3 enemy ammunition depots. According to Ukrinform, the Yug Operational Command announced this on Facebook. Artillerymen and missilemen of the defense forces during the night attacked ammunition depots, enemy positions, areas of concentration of manpower and equipment. In total, they completed about 100 fire missions and reduced the enemy army by 20 Rashists, and also knocked out the Grad multiple launch rocket system, an armored vehicle towed by a 122 caliber howitzer, destroyed 3 ammunition depots. Reconnaissance of the remaining losses of the enemy as a result of the strikes is underway. The situation in the Yezhnobuzhsky direction, according to the command, is stably difficult, but the Ukrainian Defense Forces retain control and initiative. It is reported that Ukrainian units continue active military operations to liberate territories from Russian invaders, as well as stabilization measures in already liberated settlements. Meanwhile, the enemy is trying to hold the line and inflicting fire damage on the positions of the Ukrainian defenders in order to contain their offensive actions. Violating international humanitarian law, the laws and customs of warfare, the Russians continue to strike at critical infrastructure and civilian housing. Efforts are ongoing to resume active traffic across the Dnieper. Also, the invaders continue to conduct aerial reconnaissance, collecting data on the positions of the Ukrainian Defense Forces, the location of important strategic facilities, and eliminating fire damage. During the night, the enemy fired at the positions of the Armed Forces of Ukraine adjacent to the front line and remote rear areas from multiple launch rocket systems, cannon artillery, and mortars. In particular, with the help of a pair of Mi-8 helicopters at midnight, the Russians launched an airstrike on the positions of Ukrainian units in the Bereslavsky district of the Kherson region. There are no losses. According to OK South, the number of ship groups of the Russian fleet in the Black Sea is 8 ships and boats maneuvering along the Crimean coast. Among them are 2 large amphibious assault ships and 2 launch vehicles with 15 caliber missiles, which Russia keeps ready for use. The enemy continues massive strikes with drones and air and sea-based missiles throughout Ukraine. Therefore, the risk of strikes remains stably high, the Yug OK noted.